William, what did you think about our adaptation message?
Well, the thing that was so striking to me was that the birds, to my eye, and you helped me understand this, are really very similar. I mean, they're distinct in certain ways. They're slightly different in size and shape, but they're largely living in the same place, feeding on the same things, trying to have children in the same environment.
Right.
And yet, very subtle distinctions between them allow one species to succeed and the other two to struggle. And that idea that simply one of the species has figured out maybe they're better swimmers, maybe there's certain parts of their physiology that helps them get better and to succeed, but that skill that they have, that the Gentoos have figured out, there's obviously an echo there for us, because we are all going to be facing, as this planet continues to warm, we're all going to be struggling to, how are we going to feed ourselves, how are we going to fortify our cities, how are we going to continue to live in a planet that is changing.
Right.
And it's hard not to see the Gentoos as in some ways, a lesson.
I'm glad you got to see it, but it is heartrending when you really realize that the place is warming and things are changing, and what does it mean for us, and how are we going to adapt to those changes, hopefully like the Gentoos.
I think that to simply go to a place like this as a tourist and to see it is fantastic and an important thing to do, but if you don't appreciate what's going on below the surface, if you don't know the research, if you don't know the long-term longitudinal studies, you only get part of the picture. And that's really what you did for us, was help us to understand that there's more going on here than meets the eye.
So William, the role of media covering a story like Antarctica and climate change and penguins and adapting to a changing world, what role do you guys see dealing with this?
I mean, I have been trying to cover climate change for almost 20 years now in different ways. So we're always looking for stories that help us understand the way in which the climate is changing and what those impacts are. And once we heard about the work you've been doing in Antarctica, having a long-term study of a very particular environment that we know is warming, and being able to look at those changes and what those impacts are on a very charismatic, television-friendly species was kind of an ideal environment for us, in that sense, that we're always looking for ways to demonstrate what we cannot see. We cannot see the carbon in the air. We cannot see really what a warm atmosphere looks like, what warm oceans look like. I mean, yes, the Great Barrier Reef has been bleaching. We may lose that magnificent structure entirely. Those kinds of tangible examples, and Antarctica was a perfect one of them, that's a sort of a dream for us, to be able to go and look at tangible impacts of climate change, and you took us right there.
And you guys done a great job helping us spread the word, and people are really excited about the series, and that's fantastic.
Well, you are a treasure, and it's been a pleasure to get to know you, and we cannot thank you enough for sharing your work with us and giving us license to go to the bottom of the world, this is one of the most wonderful things about journalism, is that we get to meet people like you in our lives and then piggyback on your work and use you as a lens through which to deepen our understanding. And it's been an incredible process.
Thank you. I mean, you're really kind, and I'm very happy you have penguins prancing in your dreams now. Just watch out for the guano flying.